Yeah, I mean, it's an old video, but, at least after this I'll be able to create my own country, right? In the middle of the Atlantic.
There's no one
Ooh.
definition to what makes something a country. What decides if a country is a country is essentially whether or not other countries agree that the country is indeed a country. For this reason, counts of the number of countries in the world range from 189 to 196. Each country decides which other countries they recognize. If 100 UN member states suddenly recognize your basement as its own country, then it generally would be accepted that your basement is its own country.
Hey.
There are,
I mean, it's
however, a
possible.
number of steps that any prospective country founder needs to take if they want to have any shot at gaining international recognition.
Where did you find that nylon?
The first thing anyone needs to begin creating a country is a piece of land. One way to get it is to steal it. Of course,
Hey.
this involves having enough guns to defend your territory. This would also be problematic for when your country gets to the stage where its legitimacy is reviewed by other nations. But this method has worked before. The easier method is to claim unclaimed
I mean, it
land.
works.
However, with the advent of satellite imaging and modern cartography, there really are no islands or large pieces of territory that are not known. Despite this, there is a small number of places not governed or claimed by any recognized government. One of the better known recent claims happened in an area unclaimed by both Croatia and Serbia along the
Liberland?
Danube River, the border between the two countries. This micronation, known as Liberland, has not received any international recognition and has been denounced by a number of nations, but it still affirms its legitimacy based off the lack of previous claim to its land. Its land is actually 17 times larger than the land of the smallest recognized country, the Vatican. Serbia did agree that Liberland did not infringe upon its territory, but also dismissed the endeavor as frivolous. Other new nations have had more success at international recognition. Most of these are partially recognized nations that split away from a more recognized state with the backing of the people within the territory. An example of this is South Ossetia, which split away from Georgia in 1990 and is currently recognized by Russia, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Nauru.
Yeah, but that's like
Probably the
4
best
countries.
known and most hotly contested recently formed nation is the state of Palestine. 136
Ooh,
nations recognized
that's
Palestine, and in 2012 it was designated
political.
by the United Nations as a non-member observer state. One other option for unclaimed land is Antarctica. A large section of land known
could
as
take
the
that
Mary
one.
Birdland has not been claimed by any recognized nation.
There we go. We can leave
One
there.
issue
Alright.
with
I'll
this
claim
option
it.
is the United Nations' Antarctica Treaty, which
We can
states
make
that
a-
no new claim or enlargement of an existing claim to territorial sovereignty shall be asserted while the present treaty is in force. There are claims that pre-exist this treaty by seven different nations,
Nope.
although the legitimacy of these claims is disputed given the treaty. In addition to the Antarctic Treaty issue,
None of them
establishing
brought
a
weapons
sovereign
with them,
nation
though.
in Antarctica would be difficult because of the next step in the process. A nation is created to serve its people, and without people, there
that
is
part
no
would be
nation.
difficult. In
There are always
Antarctica.
people in Antarctica, but these people do not constitute a permanent population because they are primarily there for research or tourism, and none stay in Antarctica for more than a few years.
They have their own
Interestingly,
ship.
11 babies have been born in Antarctica, but they generally have taken the citizenship of their parents' countries. A permanent population is one of the most...
Like imagine you say, oh yeah, I was born in Antarctica, here's my passport, what are you gonna do with it? Of course you're gonna take, the recognition of your parent country, because otherwise, like who the fuck would take you seriously if you said, oh yeah, I was born in Antarctica and here's my passport? Like no other country would accept it. You would not be able to fly, you would not be able to do a lot of shit. You don't have shit in Antarctica, alright? Like, it's much better to, just say, oh yeah, I was born in this country, just, but I was in Antarctica at that moment, alright? It's much better to say that than to say, oh yeah, I'm now in Antarctica. Yeah, I'm an Antarctica citizen, and you're not recognized by the United Nations, you're not recognized by most countries, so, it would be fucking useless.
Basic
So it makes
qualifiers
sense,
for
really.
statehood. A sustainable independent nation would be near impossible in Antarctica.
Fuck.
Any settlement would have no real economy and no way to naturally produce food.
Well, I mean,
However,
we can make YouTube videos. That's how we get
There are
money,
talks
right?
of Antarctica having oil, and if this is the case, a sovereign and potentially prosperous nation could be established in a hostile environment,
could be
much like the United Arab Emirates.
The media group
Similar
of
to the
Antarctica,
dozens
media
of Antarctic
nation.
micronation claims, Liberland struggles with a lack of permanent population. The founders' attempts to re-enter the territory have been blocked by both Serbia and Croatia. At this point, it seems
Just start a
unlikely
war.
that a permanent population will be
Easy.
established in the near future, and for this reason, the future of Liberland is bleak.
Oh no.
A well-formed government is probably the most important aspect dictating the success of your new country. There are tons of forms of government, but considering you're forming this country in the 25th century, you're likely to base the government on John Locke's principles of government. Locke's principles essentially say that in nature, everybody has the right to life, health, liberty, or possessions. You might notice a similarity between this and another famous document.
Yeah, I was
According
about to
to
say
Locke,
that, but
in a natural society that is without a government, these rights are not protected because there is no higher power to do so. So in exchange for taking away part of these rights, for example, liberty when in prison or property when taxed, the government acts to protect the very same rights. Locke also states that government only works when there is a common belief in the abstract idea or illusion of government, and therefore a government can only really exist when the people are behind it. This is the reason that autocratic
but you
or
need people
absolutist
for that,
governments
though.
rarely
That's the
work
difficult
in modern
part.
society. So now, keeping these principles in mind, you need a constitution. Every single recognized country in the world either has a constitution or some substitution to it. This is not a complicated process, so I won't go into too much detail, but essentially any country must have a set of laws, principles, and entities that make up the country, and the constitution works to define and specify these.
imagine a constitution.
This is where all your work comes
gamer
under
constitution.
scrutiny. Gaining international
RGB.
recognition is by far the
That
most
would be
difficult step in a
hours,
country
right,
creating
in Antarctica.
process. It takes potentially hundreds of years for new countries to be fully or near fully recognized. Chances are that, unless you have an overwhelming backing from the people within your country, a good reason for the establishment of your new nation,
You just feel like it.
undisputed territory,
Hey,
and
Antarctica.
a well-balanced democratic government, you won't be recognized by
Well,
any UN member states.
That part will be difficult,
The
yeah.
chances of a new, well-recognized nation outside of Africa or the Balkans is unlikely. The governments are too well established or stable outside of these areas.
Yeah,
The final
true.
step to gain undisputed recognition is to be admitted to the United Nations. Any application is reviewed by the Security Council, composed of China, France, the Russian Federation, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the United States of America, and a rotating group of 10 others. If 10 of the 15 vote in favor of your country, congratulations, you've just joined the United Nations. By most metrics, you're now a country. Of course, other United Nations members still can fail to recognize you, and there are plenty of UN member states that are not fully recognized. However, that's a topic for another time.
Well,
So
fuck
good
them.
luck
I
with your
mean,
new
you got
country.
10.
Thanks for watching.
You got
and
10
see you
countries.
next
That's
time.
more than enough, right? Oh my god, that audio. Yeah, I mean, pretty good. Now, I've seen some of the newer videos of this guy. I've seen some of his newer videos. They are much better edited, with much more, like easier and friendlier to follow and understand and things like that. He has a better mic too, but so yeah, this is not, like I said, an old video, so yeah, I've watched quite a lot of this guy's video. He's really fucking nice. I really like his videos. He's a really nice content creator, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. I might watch one of them later. If he releases one that I feel like will be interesting to watch, or if you guys recommend me one, I might click it. I don't know. Well, like I said, I click a lot. Most of them are not really these kind of videos, but yeah, I mean, I like these kind of videos every now and then. So yeah, pretty fucking good. I like it. All right, let's do something else.